Chamat Karsandu reporting for MMA Junkie and USA Today here in London. The Maymac World Tour is over. From LA to Toronto to New York and finally here in London. Things are wrapping up, but I'm going to speak to George Lockhart, who is Conor McGregor's nutritionist. And George, first of all, aside from the dieting and the food, we're going to get to that all in a second. Just to be a part of an event and an experience like this, what's it been like for you?
Man, it's a game changer. I mean, to be a part of history, it's amazing. I'm looking forward to like showing my son one day, like, wow, look, like, you know, it's like a Frazier Ali, seeing those pictures and being like, man, that same time change down the road, we're gonna be like, wow, I was part of that. So it's really cool.
Do you have a personal highlight on this tour?
There's so many, man, but they're like little stories, like not being able to find a kitchen. We ended up, commandeering like a guy's like a burner, like in the middle of like the city, man, at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Make sure that Conor's got food and stuff like that. It's just it's fun, you know, like the little things behind the scenes make it all worth it. But yeah, man, it's getting it right down to just one.
On an international tour like this one, you've still got to make sure that he's getting the right food at the right time. So for you, as a nutritionist, trying to locate food in bits and pieces, how challenging was that for you in the space of 4 days in 4 different cities?
Man, it's fun. It's an adventure. You don't know, like, you show up. We had like when we got to New York, we were supposed to have a kitchen. We showed up again. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, and there was a refrigerator. There's no stovetop, no oven, no nothing. So it does make things interesting, but it's cool. Like I said, like one of the stories, like we drove to a place over 24 hours. I had a kid cooking on a burner. I needed something to cook. Cook with, and I'm like, hey man, I'm not messing with you. I'm working with Conor McGregor. I need to accommodate that cooker. And he like looks at me, and I'm like, look at that Rolls Royce outside, and he's like, oh my God. So it's like, it's an adventure. I love my job, so it's fun. You know what I mean? It is fun, but you got to be on your toes.
Is there any difference in regards to the food that you give Conor and how you kind of calculate this weight cut for a boxing match versus an MMA fight?
Right. And I've said this before, with an MMA match, wrestling, jits, when somebody's on top of you, weight matters. It does have a huge effect. With wrestling, it does have a huge effect with pulling, just so much in terms of overall weight. With boxing, speed, I believe, is key. You know what I'm saying? If I'm bigger than you but I can't hit you, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. And there's not as much grabbing, pulling. The ref breaks it up as soon as that does happen. So I want to make sure that the fighter is lower in weight, the cut's not as big, and the reload is not as much. So with the MMA fighter, they'll reload, they'll gain 15, 18 pounds, which gives them that advantage. If the guy doesn't gain anything back, they're 18 pounds heavier. In a boxing match, I want him actually walking in close to weight the week of the fight, just walking in, weighing in, maybe gain a couple pounds after that, but walk around that weight.
Are you with Conor full time at the moment? And like when you're in a situation like this, it's a massive global event. You can't take on any more clients with other fights, right? I'm assuming. Right.
Yeah. We our company Lockhart and Leith and Fitness VT. We work with, like, we have DC, Daniel Cormier, work with Daniel Cormier on the Jones fight. Our guy Tyler Minn's out there, and I was actually working with somebody when I got the call from Conor. And it was tough, but it was cool. The client was like, dude, get out of here. Like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So yes, we didn't drop all the other clients. We have other employees that take over. But with that being said, like, maybe if I didn't, I'd still have to be out here. Like I said, this is a historical moment.
Has it been, maybe weird isn't the right word, or maybe it is the right word, seeing the boxing world and the MMA world converge and clash like we've seen so far?
Yeah, it's funny, man. Fighting myself, it's weird because you see the culture, and we were talking about this the other day. Like, it's like MMA fighters, we travel in packs. Like your friends, they're all training partners, or like your wrestling coaches, stuff like that. And boxers, they're kind of like the single, like you see like 1 or 2 boxers in the crew, and then it's just all of their friends, just random people. You know what I mean? So it's a different. I think it's more. The MMA world seems more like it's a team setting, and everybody kind of builds up. Like with Conor, everybody builds up Conor. Everybody's there for Conor. You know what I'm saying? But the thing, you got Artem out here. You got guys that are getting ready for fights themselves. And with the boxing community, I think it looks it's a little bit different. Like one guy and everybody's there for that one. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. It's cool. You know, it's a different sport. Being able to be a part of it and see them collide, it's awesome.
Conor said that he's going to get it done within 4 rounds. What's your prediction for the fight? I know you're going to pick him to win because you're on Team McGregor right now. But in your opinion, how does he get it done?
Oh, man, honestly, the funny thing about Conor is when he believes something, I mean, he believes it. You know, I've been in so many camps. I work with people that fight each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times I work with literally the guy and the guy he's fighting. And I can almost tell, like, okay, who's going to win? Just by the aura. A lot of guys are going to be like, man, I'm going to win. But you kind of see, like, their body language. You're like, man, they're having doubts. Conor, like, when he says something, he believes it with his heart and soul. So when he says he's going to win inside 4 rounds, he's going to knock out inside 4 rounds, I'd put my money on it. I swear.
Thanks, George. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.